Hello, Grand Rapids. This is Mark Washington, your city manager. Hopefully you've had a great weekend as we conclude our World of Winter and have spent time seeing the many ice sculptures that are around our city. There's over 50 ice sculptures as we celebrated Valentine's and Love on Ice. Also want to recognize that this is the month in which our nation celebrates its history of African Americans and all those who contribute to the progress of inclusion and equity. We are grateful for past contributions and those that are still working to make that a present day reality. So happy Black History Month to everyone. I would like to recognize the Police, Fire, and Treasurer's Office for their work in bringing innovation to our city. And this past City Commission, they were recognized as being one of the Smart 50 Award recipients in the area of mobility and digital transformation. Our Treasurer's Office has led efforts to allow us residents to have an online experience, more online experience with City Hall and pay for water, refuse, property taxes, parking tickets, and other community services online without coming to City Hall, and that furthers not only our values of innovation but also sustainability, and it's environmental friendly. I also want to recognize the Police and Fire Department for improving our efforts for citizen engagement around safety and having a digital app that allows vehicles to be notified whenever emergency vehicles are en route, and that digital app will interact with the driver's navigation system within their vehicle, within their in-dash vehicles, and hopefully this will result in fewer incidences and yielding to public safety vehicles when they are in emergency response mode. We also had a briefing from the Water Department about the city's efforts to make sure that we are concerned about public health and safety in our lead line replacement program. This is due to the Michigan Safe Water Drinking Act of 2018, which requires all public water systems to notify residents wherever there are lead lines and begin a system of both inventorying and replacing those lines. The city has replaced over 1,200 lead service lines to date, and we have a capital program to be responsible in replacing all of our lead service lines within the next 20 years. But we do want you to know that the water in Grand Rapids is safe and quality drinking water. We test our water annually, and our last sampling results resulted in 6 parts per billion of lead in the water. That's well below the action level of 15 parts per billion. So we do have safe, quality drinking water here in the city of Grand Rapids. Our commission also heard from a citizen task force on elected representation. As you will recall, last July 2019, a group of citizens brought forth an idea of perhaps having more wards in Grand Rapids. Currently we have 3 with dual representation, but they thought that the city should consider expanding the number of wards and perhaps even having more commissioners. There were ideas of being floated of having as many as 9 commissioners, 1 at large and 8 single-member districts, as well as changing the year of the election from even odd years to even years as part of national elections. Well, we got great feedback from a commission-appointed task force, along with good staff work that helped to analyze the issue, and I want to thank the staff members that were part of that, our city clerk, along with our assistant city manager, Matthews, and the law department helped provide the support to that task force. And the commission received the recommendations, and it appears that there is some value as seen by members of the task force in maintaining a dual member district. There was some discussion about perhaps adding a 4th district. There was also some support from the task force about changing elections from from odd years to even years. And there was a lot of discussion on how to fill a vacancy in the event that a commissioner exit the seat before the expiration of the term. Those recommendations will be contemplated by our commission, and the staff will continue to evaluate the fiscal, the legal, the operational impacts, and hopefully our city commission will be able to respond to those recommendations sometime this year. The commission also took action on exercising an option for the potential purchase of the Kent County Road Commission property here downtown off the river. As you know, as you may know, that the Public Services Department, along with others, are located at 201 Market, and there is an opportunity for us to relocate those services to another site, and there is like use services at the Kent County Road Commission site where their Public Works Department takes advantage of stocking their vehicles as well as equipment that's used for road maintenance and other services. And there's also an opportunity for us to both protect that site where the Road Commission is located for potential river access and in the future develop the site that's at 201 Market. So we will continue to evaluate the feasibility of both. The City Commission has approved staff moving forward to exercise the 1-year options agreement that allows us to have due diligence to determine whether or not that Road Commission site at 1500 Scribner is the best location and use for that land. And lastly, on February 25th, the City Commission will hold a meeting to have a mid-year performance update. We'll also talk about how we're performing fiscally, and this will give some context and perspective as we begin to prepare for the FY21 budget proposal. Many of you may realize that in April I plan to deliver a budget, and part of the budget recommendations will be shaped by commission feedback as well as resident engagement, and the meeting on the 25th is yet another opportunity for us to continue to discuss our priorities and the things that we need to focus on as a community. We'll be talking about economic development, affordable housing, looking at public safety specifically. What are we doing about our improving or reducing chronic homelessness, improving access to housing, as well as being responsible and maintaining good sustainable practices for our environment and encouraging the use of alternate forms of mobility. So if you're able to come out, hopefully we'll see you on the 25th. So until next month, we'll see you again.